Okay, I figured out my key to success, now I'm locked in. I learned how to open doors like a locksmith. I'm uptown, I'm the one they wanna shop with. Run off with the bag even though we don't shoplift. All that gun talk y'all want, I'm not with. It's not cool, everybody got them long clips. You gon' mess around and get one of your dogs hit. And when you do, I hope you know you're not John Wick.
What up? Welcome back. Appreciate you logging in with us. I'm Atwood. Killer to my left, DK. Killer to the far left. He's a fighter here at the Next Element Academy. Been training here for some time. Been training with DK for a while. Now, correct me if I'm wrong on this, but 1 and 2 in the state of North and South, or no, 1 in the state of North and South Carolina at bantamweight, right?
Yep.
And nationwide, is it 3rd?
I think nationwide's number 8.
Oh, number 8.
Number 2 in the Southeast.
Should have done my homework. But anyways, the very talented Mr. Josh Cook is here, and insert applause. Has a fight this weekend, right? In old Pickens.
Good old Pickens, South Carolina.
Pickens, South Carolina. Fighting for an Emmy belt. Oh, your amateur record, Josh, is what?
7-1 in MMA and 0-1 in kickboxing. So like 9 fights total.
And you've had quite a bit of submissions, right?
Yeah, all my finishes but 1 are submission.
Right on. And I know at least for the amount of time that I've been training here, a couple of years, it seems like every fight is done fairly soon.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, how many first round subs?
I think 2 first-round subs, 2 third-round subs, and then I think I got 2 second-round finishes as well.
Right on. Well, I'm gonna ask a question. I'm gonna kind of let you and DK take over a little bit because I don't know shit about the stuff about your opponent or whatnot. But obviously you're fighting for an Emmy belt. You're fighting a tough guy, from what DK has told me. So you two just kind of talk about the opponent and I guess the game. Well, say what you want, right? Because obviously this is going to come out before the fight. You don't want to give anything away in case homeboy starts to watch, but
as he should watch, and as his coach should watch as well. So anyways, yeah, it's weird with this thing. I know. Man, I'm like looking this way. I'm trying to rock this way. Guys, this is something we forgot our extra microphones. This is going to be a kind of a whole gimmick. I'm giving you guys some good thigh today.
Good thigh.
Man, these pants are just riding right up. Anyways, so yeah, let's talk about, Josh's amateur career started, what, a week after you turned 18? Or the week of?
Maybe 2 weeks. It was on my sister's birthday.
Yeah. So, and Josh fought in Virginia, too, so it wasn't like he was going in right into straight amateur rules. You know what
it wasn't
I'm saying?
like I fought with shin guards either. 'Cause I think that's pretty weird for an MMA fight. If you're doing MMA, why are you fighting in shin guards?
Yeah, well, it's, that goes along with the states,
yeah,
right?
That's
true.
A
lot of the state regulations, I know Jersey does that, Pennsylvania does that, Georgia does that, as far as shin guards are concerned. But, yeah, I completely agree. My first amateur fight was exactly like your amateur fight.
Like a pro fight.
It was just like a pro fight. Elbows, knees to the head, kicks to the head. I mean, it was literally like a no-holds-barred fight, and, you did that in Virginia on your first fight, I showed up. I was like, hey, man, we weighed in, and I was like, all right, Josh, I'll see you later. See you tomorrow. We go back. We meet up for a fight. He whips this dude's ass and throwing flying knees and everything. We got – there's a picture
First
right
fight.
there. Bam. First fight. And then up there, he was 18 years old. So it's like, the kid's been grinding. But just think about, you've started training before you got to me, though, right?
Yeah, I trained a little bit at another gym. I just did jiu-jitsu there. I started doing jiu-jitsu there, and then I got into kickboxing as well. But
But you did some stuff out in the yard with your friends, huh?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've always like wrestled with friends, you know what I'm saying? Like done jujitsu, but not know what jujitsu is, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like, never like trained, but I've always had a passion for it. I always like messing with the boys, you know, wrestling each other, choking each other out.
Yeah. So, you and Tony used to fight in his yard, right?
Yeah, we used to spar.
To spar. So Tony Rossi's this other kid. Kid started training when he was like 7 years old. So Tony's dad, I knew Tony's dad. I used to teach Tony in private lessons, you know, as well, before I knew Josh. And little did I know that his dad would call all these kids over to the house and get them to spar Tony.
Yeah.
Out in the backyard with the cheap Everlast gloves on, you know, and man, just wild times, you know. So how old were you then, you think?
Probably like 16, 17 maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you started training with me at Fitness Edge, and then, you know, when we opened up over here, transition. And then when was that first fight?
2020.
2020,
Yeah.
man.
I was training for the fight like 2019-ish, and then 2020 is when I made my debut.
Yeah. Yeah, January. Yeah, January. And then, so fast forward, we've kind of taken it, you know, now you're 22 years old.
Yep.
Yeah. And so just tell us about like how things have progressed throughout your career, and, you know, just, you know, what do you enjoy most about training, and what do you enjoy about, you know, just fighting?
Okay. Well, I started training when I was like 16, so now I'm 22, so that's like 6 years somewhat of experience. I really like the aspect of jiu-jitsu. I got into training just so I could defend myself. You know, I never wanted to fight. I never wanted to, like, thought about the UFC like that. I just wanted to train, defend myself, because, you know, nobody likes to be fucked with, you know what I'm saying? So that was always a good aspect into it. And then I really started to enjoy it. And then I started watching UFC with my brother, and time flies by, and I'm training. I came here. I remember I trained at Fitness Edge for a little bit. It wasn't consistently, though. It wasn't like I liked it, but I was also still in high school, and I lived like 30, 40 minutes away, and I didn't have a car, you know what I'm saying? I had to have my mom or dad take me, or my brother take me, so it's like, it's not like I can make it every training session. I had the commitment that I do have now. It was like, even when I started here, I lived all the way in Ainer. That's a 45, 50-minute drive.
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand that. Me and Josh are very similar stories, because I used to drive for 45 minutes to an hour to go train when I was coming up to, all the way up until, you know, I moved here. That's, you know, so yeah. Continue.
But I remember, like, even when I told people that, like, I told them where I trained at, I'm like, because I'm from Ainer. I'm from a small town, you know what I'm saying? I'm not from, like, Conway. I mean, I was born in Myrtle Beach, but, like, I lived in Ainer a long time. So
yeah, Ainer's
small town.
Drive right through it.
Yeah, literally.
It's quick.
But they don't even have a Walmart.
Yeah.
They got a Dollar General. That's about it.
DG, man. Hey, dude, they'll pop those bad boys up anywhere. You're driving in the middle of nowhere, bro. It's like, there's Dollar General, and it is nice. They got a nice Dollar General out here. You ever seen the Super Dollar Generals?
No.
Yeah, man.
You ever seen a Family Dollar and a Dollar General together?
Oh, yeah, the competitors right in front of each other.
They're the dollar stores. Anyways.
But I remember, like, telling people where I trained at, and they'd be like, dude, you really drive 45, 50 minutes every day? Because, you know, that's back and forth. Like, that's a lot of gas. That's a lot of mileage on your vehicle. And I'd make that drive sometimes in the morning, sometimes at night. Like, I remember when I worked at fucking Walmart, and I'd work from 10 o'clock at night to 7 in the morning. I'd come train at night, go sit at my job, wait till I got to sleep in my car till I got to go to work all day, get off at 7, work all night. Yeah. I mean, my lunch break was 2 o'clock in the morning to 3 o'clock in the morning. So
how old were you then? 19, 20?
Yeah, probably 19, 20. But then I'd come and train right after working a whole 8-hour shift. I'd come at 8 o'clock in the morning. I'd do the breath work classes if I could, train, and then try to go home and get some sleep before I got to go back to work. But I mean, I did that for a while, for a long time. But but I did that, and I remember that was, I don't even know what fight I was for me at that point, but I just remember taking my first fight, 2020, winning by rear naked choke, and then I don't know how long the gap in between.
It was a pretty good long gap.
Yeah, before I had my second fight. But the second fight was a good fight because like the guy I fought was a purple belt. I was still a white belt at the time. He had like 4 fights. I had 1.
It was a good test for you
It
early on in your career, you know, and I thought you could have beat the guy, and you almost did numerous times. You know, you had him in numerous submissions.
Had him in a
white belt.
omoplata, a arm bar, so multiple submission attempts, but I wasn't mentally set for that fight either. Like I remember
the warm up room.
Yeah, dude, tiny.
Packed.
It was packed. It was tiny. I was the first fight
like
of the
this
night.
Little room, right, dude? It was literally.
It was probably as big as
small, man.
as big as this.
And there were so many people in there, and we had this little bitty area to just to warm up in. Couldn't do any really groundwork in there.
I was the first fight, so it's not like I had any time to warm up. Not that there's no excuses or anything.
I hate
you know
that, man. I hate being the first fight.
Really?
Yeah, I want to be. I don't like being the last, and I don't like being the first.
Yeah.
So you just want to be in the middle.
I like being I like being I like being number 5. Number 5 is a sacred number to me. You know, it was my baseball number. It's my daughter's number. Throughout her whole entire softball career, now even in college, number 5 is just, I don't know, man. I've been lucky when I've been I've always won when I'm fighting number 5 or fight number 7. Mm-hmm. You know, there's special number 9. I like all these little numbers. I'm very superstitious when it comes to fighting, man.
Yeah.
Anything, I'm really kind of superstitious, which is kind of stupid, you know, because you make your own luck. You know, it's not because of some other stupid shit, you know.
Special fight shorts or like, you know.
Yeah, you're exactly
special
right,
socks
man.
Or
yeah. And it got to me when I was in high school. I played football and I played baseball. And I used to wear the same socks every game. And I mean, they had holes ripped off through them, dude. I'd have to wear another pair of socks underneath them. And then I put those holy socks on top of them. Wow, and they smelled like garbage.
Oh, I bet.
Like garbage. Like hot, flaming garbage. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that was that, man. I'm telling you. Anyways,
but after that fight, I ended up doing a kickboxing fight. I didn't really like that too much. I didn't really like the from going from MMA, because usually when people start an MMA career, they do boxing first, they do jiu-jitsu tournaments, they do
some
kickboxing fights. That wasn't my thing. I just jumped straight head first into it. So when I transferred from MMA into kickboxing and having to wear these big gloves, shin guards, headgear, and at that point, that's when I was working. That
was an IKF.
Yeah, and that's when I was working at Walmart at 10 o'clock in the morning. So whenever I fought, it was like 8 o'clock. I'm like, yo, I should be sleeping right now. Like, what am I doing getting in a fist fight? Like, it was weird, but
I remember us having a conversation.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that separates a lot of the things that, you know, Josh's success is he asks questions. He doesn't hide where he's like, how he's feeling to make himself feel like he's this big macho dude or anything like that. You know, he's like, hey man, he's like, I don't feel right. My legs are tired. Like I don't feel, you know, ready to fight. I think that's what he said. I don't feel ready to fight. And I'm like, listen, man, just you're gonna be once you get in there, you know. And I'm trying my best. I'm like, well, I'm trying my best to say, well, it don't fucking matter.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to fucking fight.
You gotta fight, buddy.
Yeah. So, but I'm trying to talk him through it. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been there, dude.
Yeah.
I have been the first fight and fighting in a Masonic temple, and they split the corners in half with a freaking piece of plastic.
What?
I'm in Virginia Beach, and this is my 3rd or 4th pro fight. And they split the whole thing, the cafeteria. We were in this cafeteria, and they split it right down by this piece of plastic that you could still see through. You know, and we're like, what is this even doing? A dude came there, set up a heavy bag.
Oh, I remember you telling me that story.
Set up the whole, personal heavy bag, man.
Was this a pro fight or amateur fight?
Mine was pro.
Okay.
It was pro, but there was other fighters on the card. I think
Okay.
it was a weird show, man. Anyways, they ended up I was supposed to be the first pro fight, and then they were going to have pro boxing after that. That's what it was. They were doing 4 MMA fights, 4 boxing fights, something like that. Anyways, I go to be the first fight, and they're like, oh, we're going to have these amateur fights first. I'm like, what? So I warmed up another hour. Mm-hmm. So I warmed up my time, and then I had to wait a whole nother hour. When I thought I was supposed to fight, they started the amateur fights. And so I get in the ring, and I look at that guy, and he's ready to kick my ass, it looks like. And I'm like, shit, I'm not ready to fight. Like, I'm thinking that in my head. My body just is done. It's exhausted, right? My adrenaline's just been, doing this, up and down, up and down. And this is before I knew anything about breath work or anything like that, up and down, up and down. And the guy just comes out there and does some stupid spinning back kick, and I take him down, drag him to the ground, and armbar him in like 40-something seconds. So it was like, it ended up working out for me. So
Nice.
Yeah.
I remember that like 2 fights ago, whenever we thought I'm up next, but then all these fights and the warm-up just keeps getting extended, because like a lot of those fights went to decision when I fought in Winston-Salem.
Yeah.
I thought, well, we got to get ready, and then by the time I went out, it's just like, oh, fuck, did the fight, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. And it's just like, you're going to be the co-main event. You got this kid, J.R. Banks, wrestled in college, but that's about it, I won't go into many, but I mean, I think his striking's terrible. I think he thinks his striking's terrible, so otherwise he wouldn't be working on it so hard. But, I think Josh is just going to pick him apart with striking, and if it ends up going to the ground, Josh is going to tap him, and that's just how it's going to be, man. Like, Josh has way more experience in the cage, way more experience, fighting, and doesn't fall into a one-trick pony
mindset.
Yeah, or one-track mindset, right? Like, when Josh is on his back, dude, I hate rolling with Josh. The black belts here, just like Phil hates rolling with Josh. Like, we all say it. Like, Josh doesn't stop moving, dude, and it's hard to control him. It's hard to keep him down. It's hard to do, So it's he's always attacking too. So that's another thing. That's why he has so many submissions. That's why I had so many submissions when I was fighting too. It's because as soon as you hit the mat, you got to be attacking, man, right off the rip. And
so like when you're on your back, you're losing. So it's like I don't get why people just hold the head. So let me take a breather. Let me sit here and chill. Like, nah, dude, you're losing the fight. Whether you're getting punched in the face in that position or not, you're losing. So you got to do something to sweep, submit, get up.
And that's our rule. It's like sweep, submit, or get up, man. Sweep, submit, or get up. And he's been doing that. The last kid he fought, he got him in an arm bar so bad, man. The kid's arm was.
I heard
snapping.
It cracking and popping. Like, I'm surprised it didn't. Like, just a little bit more leverage, that thing would have been. I would have took it home with me.
Well, I'm sure you're good. I think. I mean that armbar that you were speaking to, he was hurting the next day.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
On Facebook he's like, yeah, I've never been this sore.
Have you ever fought a wrestler before?
Oh yeah, I've fought a lot of that's usually what I go against is wrestlers, and it's always like someone that someone that's a really really good wrestler that's just gonna wet blanket me, take me down, and just do whatever they want with me. I've fought like 2 or 3 guys like that have wrestled throughout high school, wrestled in college. But like the thing about that is, wrestling in high school and wrestling in college, that's wrestling. You don't put a mouthpiece in it. You're not getting punched in the face. You're not getting choked out. You're not getting put in these same positions as you would in a wrestling mat.
Right.
So it's definitely a different level of what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, that. So it's definitely different when you're getting punched in the face and if you, yeah. And if I can't take this guy down, he's, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are you going to do? If that's your
Right.
only game plan to take someone down as a wrestler and you can't stand on the feet with them, that's going to make you even more tired when you can't get the takedown or when you're getting pieced up on the feet and you're thinking about the takedown and you're just diving with your head down. So it's I don't know. I didn't wrestle in high school. I kind of wish I did, but
Yeah.
then again, you know, I am where I am today. I didn't wrestle in high school or college, but yeah, neither did George St. Pierre. But
So safe to say though that you guys have kind of your camp has probably been centered around. I mean, takedown defense, right? Because this dude is he's going to be. How tall is this guy?
5'3" maybe.
All right. Oh wow. So you have you have all the advantages really besides wrestling, right?
Yeah.
Like you have the length. I mean, yeah, he's. I would imagine, and then again, I'm no fighter or coach, but he'll just try to close the distance, get in close, and then try to get some sort of takedown, sweep, or trip.
Yeah,
or
throw some heavy shots to get in, and then probably try to take me down, take my
wrestlers,
back.
man, they love those overhands.
Yeah, and that's another thing is that like the last guy he fought was a 2-4 guy. You know what I'm saying? That's not the best record. And not only is that the best record, but that guy gave up his back. That guy gave up. So I mean, it makes him look good whenever he gets a quick finish like that, but that's not doing any good for you fighting people with that kind of record.
Yeah, this is going to be definitely the toughest fight right here. This is definitely going to be, you know, both Josh's toughest fight and JR's toughest fight. This is going to be a good test for Josh before he moves on. You know, he's definitely, once you win the championship belt, then it's like now every fight is going to be a test after that, you know. So, and then when you move into the pro ranks, every fight is going to be a test. It's not, and there's not any easy fights, you know.
No.
So, I think the path that we've chosen to take, and now that Josh is, he's signed with Aridium, and they're going to probably help, you know, mold his career and formulate it into a way that positions him to bigger, you know, bigger shows, you know, and hopefully into the UFC one day.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's talk about that, right? Because we were actually in Pennsylvania. We were in Bethlehem for Austin's fight when, you know, you guys jumped on the call with Aridium. And for those who don't know, Aridium is a sports agency, and it's management.
Yeah, they manage some of the biggest fighters in the UFC right now.
Right. So me and you were at the skate park and watching Nick bust his ass. And whenever you guys did the call and you signed and whatnot. So is that a not normal, but yeah, I guess, is that normal for a amateur to sign with an agency?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't know any amateurs that are getting signed by, you know, any of these agencies.
No, what it is, you know, them seeing something in Josh and already be like, hey, I'm going to jump on this kid early and, you know, we're going to help build his career. And, you know, that's what we talked with Jason about, the owner of Aridium. You know, me, Josh, and him were all on a call together, you know, and we've talked to him about, you know, he'll help build him up and work his way up into, you know, the Contender Series possibly, and then the UFC after that, you know, once he smacks his way through the Contender Series, you know. So it, and within 3 to 5 years, you know, that things could change too as far as the Contender Series, you know. It might be a different avenue, you know, but you know, we're on this long route path, you know, like we're not trying to get there and so quick, you know.
Yeah, I'm trying to. When I get there, I want to be ready to get there. I'm not trying to just go pro, win 4 fights, be like, time to go to the UFC. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are the best guys in the world, and like that's like the top elite level. So you want to be ready when you get there. A lot of people get there and they think they're ready, and then they're not, and then they built their whole life around getting to the UFC, and they got there, but they didn't make it. They didn't stay there. They weren't able to stay at the top like everyone else.
Yeah.
That's exactly what Jason was saying. He was like, you know, when you get to the UFC, we're just not trying to like let you just dabble into the UFC and then you'll lose, now you're gone out of the UFC. It's to get there and stay there. You know, be a Dustin Poirier. You know, that's been fighting for. Be a Jim Miller. You know, all these people that have been in the UFC for so long.
Right. You're good. So I guess this will be how many amateur fights?
This will
Like
be my
8?
10th fight,
10?
but my 9th MMA fight.
Okay, so in terms of that, like, right, like, how much longer do you think before you decide to go pro?
Honestly, it depends. I'll win this fight, then I'll probably defend the belt maybe, and see what's after that. Because I don't want to take too many fights. Because that's another thing me and Jason were talking about. Where I don't want to build my amateur career too high. Because when you look at my career, if I get after this fight, I'll be 8-1. So 9-1, 10-1 as an amateur. That's a lot of fights. So when I go pro, they're not going to give me no slouch. You know, they're not going to give me some bum off the street. They're going to give me, all right, well, this guy's, 9-1, 10-1 as an amateur. Let's give him someone that's had a lot of fights as well. Because once you go pro, that your record's scratched.
Yeah, and he could be beating the same guys as a pro that he would be as an amateur, anyways. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of guys that are starting that go pro way too early, and it comes to show. Maybe not in the first fight, maybe not the second fight.
I think that can be kind of like the sweet science, right? Is trying to figure out the sweet spot in terms of, how many fights as an amateur before I do go pro, because there's so many different factors that you have to take into account, and all the factors that you guys just named, and I'm sure that Jason has talked with you about, and, but hey, 7-1 is a good start to anything, so, and then, to win in the ways that you've won as well. Every fight that I've seen of yours has been very quick. I think except for one. I think that went to the second round.
Which one?
Well, you faced a little adversity because, look, you got dropped, and then you got back up.
That's when I fought Emmanuel Simpson. I fought him in Winston-Salem. That's the fight I was telling you about.
Yeah.
The warm-up was a little wonky because, and the weight class, because of same-day weigh-ins. That's why I don't like I don't like fighting in North Carolina. Nothing against – yeah.
Damn, so everybody's fighting dehydrated.
That's what I'm saying. It's weird.
To an extent.
It's like I don't want to be fighting – if you want to do it real like other promotions, you should be doing not same-day weigh-ins, So that was a same-day weigh-in fight. And like we were talking about earlier, that was a fight where like the warm-up, like maybe I burnt too much energy, maybe I did something in the back, and I just wasn't right in the headspace whenever I walked out. Like I knew, like I remember seeing him get ready to walk out. I was getting ready to walk out after him, but I behind the curtains, you see your opponent walk out, and then it's like, okay, less than a minute, less than 2 minutes, I'm going to be the next guy walking out, seeing the crowd, stepping into the cage. So it's like at that moment I knew, I was like, dude, you just gotta fight, you know what I'm saying? You're in here for 9 minutes and then you get to go home, you know what I'm saying? You gotta find the switch, because it's like we were talking about earlier, the adrenaline, because I know whenever I have that adrenaline rush, when all right, I'm ready to fight, I'm ready to rip this guy's head off, or it's whatever, it's like I'm getting into a fight, you know what I'm saying? And that's two completely mindsets. So whenever the first round started, I wasn't fighting at my range. And I also really wanted to knock out for this fight too. So that's probably another really reason why I was too close, why I was fighting at his range rather than my range, because I wanted to finish with the hands. I keep getting these submissions, but like that's not as satisfying as putting someone on their butt and finishing them. So I remember I remember he caught me with a body shot in the like 10 second. I heard the clacker, and normally you don't hear that when you're in the fight. It's just tunnel vision. You don't hear it, but I heard it. And he did something. He hit me with a body shot, not like a hard body shot, but I was like, okay, you tag me, let me tag you back. So I remember stepping in, and I went to throw like a cross and a body shot, but when I went to go throw my cross, he cracked me with a southpaw lead right hook, and that's what dropped me. But I wasn't out cold. He said he knocked me out in midair, but we'll see. But watching the tape back, I fell, or he dropped me, and I even when he got on top of me, I was still moving. I was trying to get a triangle. I was trying to shoot. I was trying to shoot something. I mean, I'm not a dead fish.
Yeah.
Intelligently still moving.
Yeah.
And I remember that the round ended because it was like he hopped on me like maybe with 3 seconds left, maybe 3 seconds left, and then the round's over, just like any other fight. Time limits off, the round's over. Get back to the corner. That woke me up. You know what I'm saying? Because like before, when I stepped into the ring, I was like, I wasn't mentally all there. I wasn't like, okay, the game plan, like you normally are in a normal fight. But once that, I got back to the stool, talked to Derek and Nick, and I wasn't fighting at my range. I didn't have my hands up how I should have. And then 30 seconds later, I drop him and catch him and finish him. So it just goes to show that.
With 2.5 minutes left.
Yeah, with 2.5 minutes. It's not like it was a long war where I had to find it. Like, once I was set, I was locked in. Less than 30 seconds, I go in there, and I threw a right kick and came back over top and cracked him with the right hand because I guess he didn't see it. But I threw that combo. As soon if you watch the fight back, as soon as the fight second round starts, I go in, I catch him with the right kick, and I throw a right hand. But when I did it, I was at his range. So he still caught me. They're like, oh, Josh isn't adjusting to his range. And then not even 20 seconds later, I throw the same combination I threw at the opening bell. I threw a right kick and cracked him over top with the right hand, and then he was done after that. And I just ground and pound and finished him after that.
Right on. So it's kind of not off topic, but how do you guys feel about open scoring?
Like seeing the scoring as you fight?
Yeah, between rounds.
I think that wouldn't be a bad idea. Let you know, be like, yo, dude, you're down one. You gotta fight. You know what I'm saying?
I think from a fighter and coach's perspective, everybody would probably be in favor. I do think that the promotions, though, because they're looking at things from a different lens.
Mm-hmm.
They're looking at entertainment. And whenever there's controversy, people are going to talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think open scoring wouldn't actually be better for the promotions just because, it would not be like, this dude's down two rounds. He's either going to give up this round, right, or he's going to fight his balls off to win,
Yeah. I agree. I think it can go both ways. It could be like that, or if it's a close fight and it's not, we'll just say it's controversial, they can be like, oh, well, let's set up a rematch, to see who. No, but I agree. I was talking to Walker, and Walker had said that open scoring has been legal here in South Carolina for like 2 years, but nobody does it.
What?
I was like, well, that's crazy. Like, you would think that people would be pushing for that. So that was my next question is, is it conflict that you're fighting? Or
Yeah, conflict.
They don't do scoring?
No. Which I feel like that would be a good idea because, like, you'll be able to know. Because, like, controversial, you say, like, a lot of people get to that last round and then they're like, nah, we won that round. And then the other team, of course, they believe in their fighter. Like, nah, we won that round. And then whenever it gets to who they're getting their hands raised in the decision, they're like, nah, dude, that was completely upside down.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not saying judges are perfect because there's a lot of mismatching judging, but that's why you can't leave the fight to the judges. I've gone to decision, lost a decision twice. I've learned my lesson from that. So after that, every fight I'm trying to finish. I'm not trying to make it to decision. Nobody wants to fight the whole time. If you do, I don't know why, but I mean, I'm trying to get in and get out.
I agree. I think that's probably the best way to to go into a fight, right? Nobody, like you said, nobody wants to sit there and
watch you
beat each other's
wrestle.
ass for 15 minutes, or longer.
He's got a 5.
5 threes.
5 threes.
So it'll be a 15-minute fight.
15 minutes. So still like a pro fight, but you get a minute break in between, you know.
Well, before we get out of here, you know, UFC 30. Fuck. Is it 306 or 309 this
I think
weekend?
it's 306, but that could be
Well,
wrong.
if it's not 306, it's just an upside down 6, and it's 309. I think it's 306 though. But it's at the Sphere, which, by the way, is not selling apparently the way they thought it would, and the ticket prices have come way down.
Yeah.
But you know, usually for the big cards, me and DK, and we'll let Josh get in on this. You know, we place a little wager. Now I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. The only fighters I really know are the last 3 fights of the night. So I say we just go off that, make it a little easier. Okay. It's an odd number too. So first one would be featherweight, Brian Ortega, Diego Lopez. Who you taking, Josh?
I feel like Ortega hasn't been what he used to be in a long time.
That's
and
fair.
Diego's on the uprise, and he's been getting finish after finish.
That's
even
fair.
that short notice for his debut fight, he looked really good, and he wanted to rematch that guy, but that guy didn't want to rematch.
Mm-hmm.
But he's been finishing everybody, and so happens we're actually signed by the same team, so that's actually pretty cool. Him and Alexa Grasso are both signed by Aridium as well.
Right on. So I'm assuming you're taking Diego.
Yeah, I'm going to
about
take
you,
Diego in
DK?
that fight.
Yeah, I'm taking Diego too.
That's fine. You guys can take Diego. I'm taking Ortega because, yes, Diego's been finishing people, but we've seen Ortega take beatings
Yeah.
and still be there. So, and Ortega's a strong dude, man. I think it only takes one shot, well, from anybody. But
Yeah.
I'm going to go out on a limb and take Ortega there. Next, we have the rematch of Valentina Shevchenko and Alexa Grasso for the flyweight strap. Who you got, Josh? Now, the first one, Alexa subbed her.
Yeah.
I think it was the first time that Valentina's been subbed.
Yeah.
Or even beaten. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Or she might have lost like a decision in the past, but finish-wise, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the first time she's got finished. I think Alexa Grasso might take it. I'd like to see her, keep fighting because I feel like nothing against Valentina, but I feel like she's had her time. She's been the baddest woman on the planet for a while. And
at least
now
at that weight, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. So I'd like to see Alexa Grasso get it done because their last fight was a draw. So I'm hoping neither of them won another draw or a decision fight. So I'd like to see another finish.
Yeah, you eventually get to a point where you've topped out as good as you're going to get, right? And these other people that are coming up, they just, while you're starting to kind of shift gears and starting to think about your future. So we got to look. Valentina Shevchenko is 36 years old. Alexa is 31. And so that's like prime, the early 30s, late 20s, prime fighting time, and early 20s as well. Early 20s, late 20s, and early 30s. Especially been training for a long time too, man. So I'm gonna take Alexa. Sorry.
Taking Valentina.
Yeah. Listen. I don't care how old Valentina is. She hasn't taken a whole lot of damage in her career.
That's true.
And I think that Alexa beating her was a fluke. So I'm gonna go Valentina. So final fight, obviously, it's the bantamweight strap. Sean O'Malley, Merab Dvalishvili. Did I say it right? Dvalishvili? We'll just say, yeah. We'll just say I was right.
Yeah.
We'll just say I was right. Yeah. See, that's the thing. That's what throws me off. You put a D and a V together. How am I supposed to pronounce that? You know?
Either way, I'm taking O'Malley.
O'Malley?
Yeah, O'Malley by knockout. But they say if he gets on the ground, he might throw up a submission. So that'd be interesting to see O'Malley get his first submission in the UFC, if that did happen.
I wouldn't mind seeing that, but I just don't know if that's going to happen on Merab. But what do you think, DK?
I got O'Malley by KO or sub, either one. I just think he's tough. Yeah. But that you can still get the lights put out.
Wait a minute.
What?
It looks like O'Malley got that loss turned into a no contest.
What?
It says 18-1 no contest, right?
The no contest. Wait, is it 18-1 in no contest or 18-0?
Yeah.
18. He lost to Marlon. He got a no contest. Pedro Munoz. He eye poked him.
Oh, I forgot about that. I forgot. Okay. Yeah, this is a hard one for me. I really like O'Malley, but man, Merab's a beast. I think it could really go either way, but I probably, just for the sake of trying to be right and hoping that I get it right, I'll just say O'Malley. Especially after what he did to Aljo.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, Merab's last fight, was that the Henry Cejudo fight?
I believe so.
And I mean, ragdolled Henry, right? But Henry's getting
Henry
older.
was also inactive too, though.
Exactly.
So he took a long break, and then he's like, "I'm still the king of the 125," and then go up to 35, and then see how that went.
You're gonna get ragdolled, man.
Yeah. So I think you guys all picked, both of you picked the same, and I picked two separate ones, so that should be interesting. But yeah. Yeah, fuck, I don't got anything else to say. You want to take us out?
Yeah, this weekend we got, Josh's obviously co-main event. We have one of my purple belts. He's fighting an upstate karate guy as well. A couple fights before Josh. And then a couple fights before Josh is Cooper. He's fighting a kickboxing fight. Him and Josh grew up together. Known each other their whole lives, been good friends, and it's really cool. This will be the first time you guys fighting on the same card together. It's going to be really awesome time. We're going to go 3-0 this weekend. I know it. I feel it. I'm confident in it, and it's just, we're working hard here. So it's that's just the way it's going to be, for a long time. Anyways. Josh, you want to thank your sponsors? Anything?
Yeah, I want to shout out my sponsors. Legit. Who else? Gino's Pizza. I'm thinking about my shorts. Aridium made me some nice shorts. They just came in the mail yesterday. I can't wait. Yeah, you got to see them. Bradley Development. American Fitness. Advanced Medical Solutions. They helped me out through this camp. And I think that's it.
Sigma Core.
Sigma Core, yeah. And I think
Sigma Core. It's a buddy of mine. He trains here at the academy as well, and he was Josh's first sponsor.
Yeah.
Ever. Yeah. It was pretty neat. Anyways. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just looking forward to this weekend. Looking forward to finally getting a belt. A lot of people they have like 3 fights, maybe 4 fights, and they think they deserve something. A lot of people are like, "Oh, you're on you won 2 fights in a row, 3 fights. Let's get you a title." You know what I'm saying? I've been at this for 4 or 5 years. I'm just now getting my title shot, which I'm completely fine with. I'm not rushing anything. So it'd be cool to have something hung up in my room, show my dedication and hard work, a little belt, maybe go defend it after that. But I'm looking for a finish as usual. I don't really plan on fighting for 15 minutes. I don't think he's going to be able to try to keep the pace to take me down for 15 minutes. So there's definitely going to be some shots. I saw something he was saying the other day. The interview asked him. She was like, I remember I interviewed you after one of your fights, and you said that was your game plan to go to the ground? And he said, no, I just got caught with a hard shot, so I had to take it to the ground. And he's going to get caught with a hard shot, and he's going to be shooting. So I'm looking to snatch up the neck or get a TKO or something like that. But we'll see. I'm just looking to get another finish. I'll take anything I can get.
Love it. Yeah. Thank you guys for locking in with us. Josh Cook, you can follow him on Instagram. Start following him now while he can still respond to your DMs. All right, before he gets some millions of followers.
Yeah.
anyways, thank you guys so much. Appreciate you. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Oh no, I'm not gonna.